wasn't very many options. I had to tie a turban, and so the turban would be the color of the Stetson, so there wasn't really a lot of creativity required, if you will.
Baltej Dhillon flips through the scrapbook he's kept over the 3 decades he's served as an RCMP officer. It's filled with newspaper clippings, photos, and on the first page, a schoolyard poem.
It's much better, they'll decide, if we ride camels in the musical ride. In all tradition it shall cease, in the new royal rag-head mounted police. From Corner Brook to Medicine Hat, Fort St. John to Kitimat, Dawson Creek to Fort McMurray, all be there, you'll smell the curry.
Wow.
It was a poem written by a child, passed around at school in anticipation of Dhillon's classroom visit. But it's a dark reminder of the prejudice the officer faced throughout his career. Some of it ignorance, some of it simply hateful racism. And it began before Dhillon even started policing. After passing his tests in 1989, the 23-year-old prospect was told he couldn't start as a Mountie unless he agreed to shave his beard and lose the turban. He refused to abandon his articles of faith.
I don't think it will make any difference at all as far as my job requirements go. It is not going to be a hindrance as far as becoming a police officer and doing my duties as a police officer.
The controversy spread across the country.
What they have to do is adapt to our customs. We don't have much left of our tradition. Adapt to us.
A petition circulated calling for the exclusion of turbans in the RCMP. A Calgary businessman distributed pins. After the rules were changed and Dhillon started his career in Quesnel, he experienced prejudice from the community and from within the force. He learned his partner had told other officers he wouldn't back him up because he wore a turban.
This caused me a lot of concern, because all you've got is your partner. And if your partner say, I'm not backing you up, well, there goes your lifeline.
The staff sergeant stepped in to deal with that situation. Dhillon's career with the force saw him involved in high-profile cases, including investigations into serial killer Robert Pickton and the Air India bombing.
Well, when I first got involved in the Air India Task Force, I wasn't trusted. I wasn't included in some of the meetings until I had a conversation with the police, with the staff sergeant at the time. And I asked why I wasn't included in some of the meetings, and I was told that it was because there was concern that I might compromise the file.
After 7 years, a second turbaned Mountie finally joined the ranks. Dhillon says it's kept getting better and better since then, and despite the challenges he faced, he leaves the RCMP with a note of sadness.
It truly is a family. There are not very many other professions where, you walk into a building or a home not knowing if you're going to come back out.
Inspector Dhillon is leaving a different RCMP than the one he joined, and some of that change is thanks to him. Rafferty Baker, CBC News, Surrey.